is everybody?
Well, I was going to say I was amazing, right? I was feeling great. Everything was going wonderfully well. And then suddenly my washing machine has broken. It's on the blink completely.
No.
How long does it take? I mean, how old does a washing machine usually go? I mean, I think I've had it quite a long time though. Actually.
Well, you see, that's it.
It's all that. It's all the workout clothes, Dee. It's all the leathers that you put in there. That's where it goes wrong, darling.
That's right. I mean, you know, people have a complete relationship with their washing machine.
Yeah,
I mean,
I used to have one with mine, but I haven't told you the truth. You know, I was having a relationship with my washing machine and have had for 20 years.
Oh,
when I moved house, she couldn't come with me.
Oh my God.
I put her in a rescue centre.
Oh no.
Rescue for washing machines.
Rescue for washing machines. Oh God.
Oh my God.
Reminds me, you know these do you know in the 50s apparently women had a real relationship with their washing machines?
Dee, we know that. Don't start.
Because they used to sit on top of them and they used to, you know how they vibrate.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you. It's the afternoon, darling. It's 4:30.
Oh yes,
I mean,
of course.
It is the truth, obviously. But
yes, the watershed. Yes.
Well,
we've moved on.
Do you remember the twin tubs? My mum had a twin tub. I thought they were the best. And that thing that goes, that was fabulous, that twin tub. I loved that. I'm afraid I do stuff mine, though. Do you? I think that's what you've done, Dee.
I think so. Too much stuffing going on. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh dear, we've taken a huge dip this afternoon. I'd like to apologise to everyone.
Stuffing
and vibrating.
Can you help me a bit? Because I obviously moving into the new house and have the new washing machine, and the other one has gone into rescue. I'm really sorry about that. After doting about her for years, she's all alone in a rescue centre.
Moving on.
But the actual, you know, when you put your things in the washing machine, and I have to now, with this new washing machine, I have to hold the door for it to start. Is that because of the thing, the sort of rubber thing? It looks like it's not straight. Does that have to be straight? Do you understand?
Now we're talking about rubber. Now we are talking about rubber.
Jeez. Don't hold your door. Get a man in, and that's very sexist, isn't it? Or a woman, and check your door's gone skew. There's something wrong with your washing machine.
Yeah, there's something wrong with your door, dear. And if you're having to worry about rubber, then we need to move on. Again,
your rubber might need adjusting. I'm being very technical now. If it does, you have to put your finger around the rubber and take it all the way round, and then you might slip it back in.
Okay, stop now, Sherry. It's too much. Way too much.
This is really interesting. I know exactly what I should do.
Slip it back in, the rubber will slide itself back in and adjust itself. Then you don't have to hold your door.
Right.
I know all about washing machines.
This is like a gynecological description of a washing machine. Please, can we have our first guest, Debbie?
No, I want to carry this on. I think this could go on forever. Yes, we have our next guest is, well, she's a bit of everything really. She's a broadcaster. She has she's designed handbags. She is she's just actually basically she has done everything and she's doing everything. And her name is Amal Fashanu. Amal, are you there?
Hi there.
Welcome, darling.
Hello.
I found it very difficult to describe what you do because you kind of do everything.
Yes, I know. I find it difficult myself.
but really, I want to talk to you about your uncle Justin, because I was reading all his story last night. And of course, obviously I read about it at the time, but last night, for some reason, I was terribly, terribly upset by what happened to him. Can you please explain to all our viewers, I'm sure we all know, but exactly what happened and how tragic it was?
Yes. So my uncle was Justin Fashanu, and he was the first openly gay professional footballer in the world. He was also the first £1 million black player in England. He played for many, many clubs in the UK and abroad, and he committed suicide when I was 11 years old. So yeah, Justin was an amazing person, apart from an amazing footballer. And I've been campaigning since 2012, because obviously we haven't really seen any openly gay footballers. And, the question was why? Why isn't there any openly gay footballers currently playing? So I decided to go on a little bit of a quest myself, and I ended up making a documentary for BBC Three, which was nominated for a British Broadcasting Award, and it was the most watched documentary of the year. And I was very proud of, you know, what I was doing at the time, and I still am now, actually, because I feel like, you know, it was a documentary where I poured out my heart and soul, and I was just trying my best to help anyone who would be in a similar situation as Justin was, so that the same thing.
What do you think is, sorry, Amal, do you think his suicide was caused by all the people that were just on at him all the time, that he didn't have any freedom?
Yes, I think it was a culmination. It was almost like it was a lot of things for Justin. You know, he was religious, he was Black, he was gay. He was playing at a time when, you know, these things weren't really accepted, and it was very difficult for him. And I think it obviously pushed him to the point where he didn't feel like he wanted to live anymore, which is extremely sad. And, you know, I hope that no one feels that way today.
I think what you're doing with your extraordinary foundation and all the things that you're doing, those people speaking out, your documentary, are the things that make the difference. And it's so important. And this is just a tiny thing, but my mum in 1964 wrote a novel about working class boys falling in love when it was still legal to be gay. And she wrote a novel that was then made into a film. And that's, again, there's so much homophobia in our world, and it's still there. The idea that it isn't is wrong, no matter what. And I think what's moving and beautiful is what you're doing today. I would love to know, because you're so diverse and you have so many different talents, what was the first moment you realized your instinct to express, communicate, because it covers all of those things that you do? Do you remember, were you a kid at school doing a nativity play, or what was it?
I actually went to Sylvia Young here in London.
Did you? My gosh, amazing, darling. So you're a performer from the get-go.
Yeah, so I used to play piano. I went to Sylvia Young for a bit. I was in Annie, the theatre play. I've always loved to do, you know, I do tap dancing. I've been always very expressive, very creative. My parents have always been like, oh gosh, can this girl shut up, in a way?
No, don't ever.
Yeah, I've always just been like this. And, you know, my first language is Spanish. So I just find myself talking a lot and expressing myself and being able to communicate in the ways that I like to. So yeah, it's just been.
Where did the journalism come from, though, and the sort of presentational stuff? Where did that start?
That, I think I have to thank my mum, because that's more my mum pushing me to doing something more serious, where I could, you know, make a career from. So I grew up in Madrid, and when I was 18, I kind of came back to Brunel University and I studied communications and media studies. And I think that was the start of it, because I got approached by a lecturer from Brighton University. He said, you know, there's something going on called the Justin Campaign. Why don't you get involved? I did get involved. I was playing football on a pitch with the rain, and there was some cameras from BBC, which I didn't know at the time was from BBC. I might have, you know, tried to fix up my makeup a little bit or something. I was there with my extensions at the time and the rain, and they did an interview which then went viral. And the next day I got approached by, you know, 20, 30 production companies, and they were like, you know, I want to do a story with you. Started the documentary, and that was that.
And how is it with the presentational stuff that's different? What do you have to curb anything, or are you able to still be as free and be you, or do you have constraints, scriptorial wise and things?
I've never used a script, if I'm honest. I've made 4 documentaries so far: mental health, crime, homophobia in football, and fashion. And I've never used a script. I feel like if I don't genuinely want to know about the story, who's going to want to watch me getting to know about the story? So I just feel like I have to say things from the heart. If I get them wrong, I am human, so I'm sorry. But I even think that that's part of the journey. It's getting things wrong and understanding and genuinely from the heart wanting to know about a subject. So
I think that's beautiful. I think that's absolutely beautiful and absolutely spot on.
Can I take you back a bit, Amal, to your BBC documentary, Britain's Gay Footballers? I know it was 2012, so I know it's a while ago, but I have a cousin who was a footballer for Nottingham Forest in that period. And I just want to know, as you're still very much involved, do you think it's changed Has it helped? Is there a difference now, or are we still on that homophobic and racist line?
I mean, it would be very unfair for me to say that it hasn't changed, but I would say that it hasn't changed at the speed or at the rate of society in a way. So it's almost like, you know, in fashion, if a fashion stylist comes and he's not gay, you're almost upset because you're like, oh, I'm not getting the best here, you know, and you kind of think that they're going to be gay and fabulous and it's brilliant and it's super accepted and no one really cares and we don't even really talk about it. It's just a shame that in the culture of football and sport, it's almost like something impossible to talk about. It's like the dialogue is very difficult, and it has been difficult, but now I feel like the more we talk about it and the more that people start to understand that there are gays in football, and you know that they might not be in the position where they want to come out because it's not safe. They don't feel like it's the time or it's safe, but it has moved on. I feel like, you know, the PFA, they're trying, the Premier League, you know, we're all kind of trying to do something. I think with racism, it's moving faster. But with homophobia, it's difficult because you can see that you're black, but you can't see that you're gay unless you choose to actually say it. So it becomes something that it's more challenging, but we are getting there. And I do feel that within the next 2-3 years, you know, there will be a footballer who will happily, you know, come out whilst currently playing, because that is the key. The key isn't that, you know, they're retiring or they're going to retire and then they come out, because unfortunately what we want to prove or demonstrate is that, you know, you can be gay, you can be black, you can be fabulous, you can play football, and you can be the best at playing football, and you don't need to feel this kind of pressure and feel that you can't be yourself whilst you're doing your job, which is
absolutely. And it's very, very important for the young up and coming footballers, the young boys starting whatever age they start. It's really important that they see that. 100%. And this is an open world, and they can be open. And there's nothing to be frightened of or afraid that somebody's going to attack you or whatever.
No. I mean, look, I do understand their fears, and it's something very important to understand, because it won't be easy. And if I said, yes, come out and everything will be fine and everyone will embrace you, I would be lying. But you know, what's harder? Is it harder to effectively be who you are and take that step forward, or stay, you know, at home with all this money and all these things, and with everyone thinking that you're living your best life and really you're living hell? That is what concerns me, and that comes to the mental health. And that's why through the Justin Fashanu Foundation, what I'm trying to do is effectively, or we're trying to do, is actually, you know, get ambassadors who are footballers in the football clubs to actually talk about it themselves, because we lack just figures, role models who just come out and say, you know, it's okay to be gay in football. You have David Beckham, he's beautiful man, lovely, happily married, everything, super talented in what he does and in football. And, you know, he's the front cover of how many magazines, fashion magazines, gay magazines. And I still haven't heard him in an interview just say openly, if there was a gay, you know, footballer in my club, I wouldn't care. I embrace, you know, gay footballers. That's all we need to hear.
That's what you need.
Yes, that is what you need. Oh, Amal, you're such an inspiration. And you know, and you still find time to do your creative stuff as well. I mean, I've just been listening to your music, which is amazing. And I have to say, your handbags, I'm so excited to hear that you actually got a handbag range. And did you design them yourself?
Yes, so I studied a master's in handbag and leather design whilst I was presenting a live show in Madrid.
And you did.
What else
would you be doing?
That you do when you've got a minute.
Yes, and I launched a handbag brand called Amal Fashanu Handbags. We'll start stocking up in Selfridges very soon. I'm selling online currently, which the pandemic has helped me to do. So apart from my long 2-hour walks with my mum and dog, I am trying to sell online and, you know, get up to date with the cool kids. And it's going very well. I'm designing a new collection for Dubai, which is very interesting.
Wow.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Could you design a Wonderbirds bag?
Of course. Of course.
Please.
I'm going to do that.
Where can we find your bags? Where can we buy them?
They're all on either amalfashanu.com or amalfashanuhandbags.com. And I also have a shop on Instagram at Amal Fashanu Handbags.
Wonderful. I can't wait.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Amal. It's so lovely to talk to you. And you're doing such great things all
You
round.
must come back, Amal.
Please invite me back. I want
Yes.
to have time.
Yes.
Darling, it's an open invitation.
Thank
It
you.
really
It's
is.
so fabulous. Thank you
you.
so much.
You're
Thank you, darling.
fabulous.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic and
she
uplifting in an afternoon on a
She
Wednesday.
really is.
Oh,
Absolutely
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was so interesting and so incredibly sad, the story, and how, you know, I suppose out of the diversity of Justin comes her, and God, what a force of nature, what an incredible girl to do all that.
It's the fact that homophobia and racism is so prevalent still. That's so shocking when you think back.
Absolutely shocking.
You think we should have moved on in the last 50, 60 years, for fuck's sake. And we have, in essence, people can get married. But the vehemence and the, oh my God. And also in other countries, it's just rampant.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
it's horrific.
Now, girls, for a Wednesday afternoon stunning moment, we have Stephen Murphy from Inside Soap Magazine to bring us all the news.
Hello.
Yes.
There
Welcome.
you are.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh,
Tell us everything, darling.
Are you in pink? Is that pink?
I love your pink shirt.
It's check. It's little red gingham.
Very pretty.
Gingham, I think we
Love
call
it.
Oh,
It's
gingham.
I put a shirt on specially because I was going on the special
On the
Wonderbirds
telly.
Lovely.
Darling, please tell us all your news.
Well, we've just had the Inside Soap Awards on Monday.
Yeah.
Normally, Debbie's been before. Normally, quite a boozy old do.
Very.
To say the least, Stephen, and also the most important thing about the Inside Soap Awards are what Steve wears.
Oh,
What do you normally wear, Steve?
Well, I have a rule that everything has to be new, or else it's all going to go wrong. And I have to buy the pants on my way to the venue.
Really?
I've got really superstitious about it, and I have to buy my pants for the night on my way to the venue for the rehearsal.
Have you seen somebody about this, darling? Have you seen Matron?
You know that way I can't now not do it, or else it's all going to go wrong. But on Monday I didn't buy new pants because Monday it was all online, because obviously we can't hire a big West End venue currently in the climate.
But did you get new pants delivered?
No, I didn't. I went without the new pants this time, and it all went
Do you
well.
mean by
too
pants,
much information there, Steve.
Maybe
Darling, do you mean knickers or pants? Like trousers?
You mean
like
trousers,
pants?
Steve.
underwear.
Pants.
Underwear,
darling.
Underwear?
Under there. So anyway, my point is, I didn't buy the new pants. I've broken the curse. But the Inside Soap was online. All went very well. People could watch it. We had great fun. We had Annette Badland as the voice of the Inside Soap Awards, who was
Right.
Yes.
and never knowingly uncamp is Annette Badland. It was very good. That was good fun. So it was all very jolly. And we had some great wins and a lot of really good coverage. So it turned out after all this stuff we've been through and the soaps shutting down and everything, it's actually been quite a good year for soaps, as it turns out. There's been some really good spots. Some really good, well-deserved winners. So the
awards actually, Stephen, were actually quite even, weren't they, this year?
Yeah,
between everyone.
Yeah, we kind of, I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And it ebbs and flows and it swings and roundabouts. And some obviously people are disappointed when it's not their year. So we had a bit of a Corrie and EastEnders year this year.
Yeah, you did.
EastEnders sneaked in on best soap, so they got 5, but Corrie still got 4 very good ones.
Yeah.
So it comes and it goes. Everyone gets their turn eventually. Interestingly, our best soap at the Inside Soap Awards the last 4 years has been a different soap every year. So it's moved around. The public, it's just whatever one the public are kind of feeling.
You had the daytime awards too this year.
Yes, we've done doing that for a few years because we love the Aussies. I mean, I grew up on the Aussie soaps. I'm a child of that era. I watched them from the very beginning. So, we're kind of big believers in the Aussie soaps, and our readers are big believers in the Aussie soaps, and doctors as well, which is the other kind of daytime.
Yes.
So We used to have them in the main category, but they just never won anything. So we put them into a category of their own.
Good.
Which has been fun and really good, and the readers really appreciate it because they get a chance to vote for their favourite Aussie or their favourite star of Doctors, and that's moved around again. Doctors had a great year a couple of years ago. This year it was quite a neighboursy year for them. So that's been good fun, and it's good. The more awards I can hand out to the more shows, the happier I am.
Yeah, and it's so great that Stefan Dennis has got an award.
Yes,
I was thrilled about that.
On Ramsay Street. Well, a big gap in the middle, but 35 years since he first stepped onto Ramsay Street. So that's great. Well done.
He lived in England for quite a long time because he's quite a good friend of mine. He came back here for about 8 or 10 years and just really just in the end just said, listen, I've got to go back to Neighbours, because he really couldn't. He made films and stuff over here, but he couldn't find such a big gig, I suppose.
He was in River City for a little while, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He married her. His wife's Scottish, isn't she? I think.
Yes, Gail.
Yeah.
Scottish. Yeah. Well, actually, Sherry doesn't remember this, but we were actually on a ship. Well, we were doing a soap cruise many years ago when Steph actually proposed to Gail.
Oh.
And then it was just lovely. It was when it was very rough on the Bay of Biscay or somewhere. I'm sure Sherry was there, but so it was loads of people from EastEnders and Coronation Street.
Remember?
Sherry, I usually drag Sherry in on everything that I do somewhere along the line, don't I, Sherry?
Yeah.
So,
but the Bay of Biscay, I may have been ill at that point. The Bay of Biscay.
You mean, darling? Were you not at the bar?
It was the morning after.
I don't drink, Carrie. I never touch alcohol. So.
It's foolish of me. I'm so sorry.
Yes, but anyway, so he was married to Gail. So he's married to Gail, who's a Scottish girl, and he got married. He got married in a kilt, I think.
Ooh,
nice.
In a country.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, do you know what I remember, Stephen? The very first time I saw Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan in Neighbours. And I was sitting with my family, and I had a very cynical uncle who didn't like sort of pop stars or anything like that. And I think they both had a sort of a single out. Yes. He went, "Oh, you won't hear about them in a year's time. They're awful." And of course, Kylie Minogue.
Wow.
Here we are.
Get it wrong.
30 odd years later.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Stephen? I was thrilled about Casualty.
Oh, yes, Stuffy.
I just think, isn't that fantastic that she's got that award?
Yeah.
Is it 30 years? Kathy Shipton, isn't it?
30. I think it's about 32 now, or something.
Isn't that amazing? Wow. And she must have won things before, but I'm just so thrilled she got it this year.
She was very, very touched, actually, Kathy. It was nice
I'm
to see.
sure.
And I think the storyline as well was so. It was amazing and so sad with her dementia. I mean, so hard to play.
Wonderful.
It's really hard to play. For 1 minute, she's all right, and the next minute she hates Charlie. And it's for us as an audience, because we love the fact that they got together again after all these years, and then to be snatched away from him in her mind and hating him and doing weird things. It was devastating. I mean, I obviously love Casualty, as you can hear.
Yeah. Yes. And the Dingles, for Emmerdale.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
The Dingles.
That's been long coming, hasn't it?
Yes, they were best family, and Lisa Riley, bless her, reeled off every single dingle in the show. And tried to work out how many ways we'd have to cut the award up to go round. and even she, who's in the show, needed a little list just off camera. But she got them all in. She even got the babies in, the little kiddie ones and everything.
Oh no!
The whole list, the whole dingle. It was great.
Oh, that's so
that's funny.
Last night I saw Holby, but everyone was wearing a mask, and they were all talking like that, doing a mask, and it must be really hard to do all that sort of, as you say, eye acting.
Yeah, it must be.
Because that's going to be, I suppose, around for some time, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, they're doing it a little bit in the soaps as well, but they're playing a little bit more fast and loose in the soaps, I think.
Yeah.
Because, they're filming, as 6 weeks, 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
They don't know what the rules are going to be. So they're doing a bit of masks. Sometimes the masks aren't on. I think it just sort of depends what works for the scene a lot of time. But whereas a hospital drama, obviously that's very different.
They have to,
because they would be wearing, they would definitely.
Well, they would,
Yes.
I mean, I haven't been watching soaps very much recently, but are they still back? Are they back in the pubs? What happens in the Rovers? And
they're in the pub. There's not a lot of people in the pubs,
right?
But they are in the pubs. They haven't really, because as I said, because of when they film, they didn't know the second lockdown was coming or whatever.
No.
So they are in the pubs, but you don't quite have the same amount of obviously extras and all of that kind of thing. So it's not quite as buzzy, but they are using all the locations and using masks kind of from time to time, but not always, because I just think I don't particularly, as a viewer, I think particularly in the soaps, I think medical's a bit different, that you kind of want people in masks.
Yeah.
So
I have to say though,
it's become this sort of half COVID world, I think, which I think actually is the right thing to do, to nod to it, but not to let it.
Stephen, I have been practicing my eye acting.
Oh, have you? You're going to get all the roles, Harriet.
Oh my God.
These ladies ain't going to get a look.
In a mask, though.
I can't.
It's for the mask, yeah. Yeah, I
can't
thought it was important. It was important to start that. And obviously, I'm happy to do tutorials if anyone wants to.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Online lessons.
Yeah.
Stephen, tell us about the Feel Good Award.
Oh yes, we added a new award in this year, which was the Feel Good Award, because we sort of thought, our shorthand for soaps generally is fights, bust-ups, affairs, drama. But actually, there's so many lovely things, lovely weddings, births, people reuniting, that kind of thing. Actually, we thought let's award the thing that people finished the episode and went, oh, that was lovely. That's really cheered me up. So we did that, and that went to the EastEnders Pride episode where they had the first.
Fabulous!
Pride, which was all great fun. So that was nice. That was a nice thing to be able to do as well this year, just to try and, because we're inside, so we're quite tabloid. We're all about drama, but actually it was nice to slow one award down and think about something else.
We want some fun in those soaps. We want some comedy to return. Not a lot of comedy at the moment, is there, in the soaps?
There's a bit. Corey's slipping some in as always, and I think that I always think EastEnders is funnier than people think. It's quite.
It was when it first started all those years ago. It was very funny, and then they went to the dark side. But I do think they're bringing some comedy back. It doesn't,
because EastEnders doesn't do comic storylines as such, but it's quite often quite sarky and it's that kind of humour.
Yeah.
So actually, the scripts are quite witty, and
I know what you're saying.
Delivering the put downs or the cutting comments or whatever.
Sorry, darling. Somewhere I read this week that June Brown was voted the best soap star of all time.
Oh, I missed that.
And I don't know where it was. Of the most iconic soap stars, June Brown was the one that was voted the one that people remember. So I thought that's not you, obviously.
She probably is. I always just sort of think if someone can do an immediate impression of it at something like that, and immediately who it is, then they clearly are absolutely iconic.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And she's amazing for her age, isn't she? I mean, how old is she now?
She's 92. In her 90s now.
92.
She's just retired. Just retired, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I know.
She said there was an article the other day saying that she might go back.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I know June, and if she can go back, she'll go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met her many times at the National, and she was doing some fantastic work, and she's a fabulous actress. And I've always thought, that she's iconic. Always thought she was iconic, but also I think she's never really changed. She always looked the same to me.
She did a lot of dramas, a lot of. I mean, I've seen her in so many things, and when she's not June Brown, you wouldn't recognize her. She's a great actress.
She really is.
Steve, in the next couple of weeks, actually, I don't know, it's coming soon. John Altman's coming, and so is Brian Capron. We're coming in soon, so you must come back and have a chat with them.
I'd love to.
I know last year you were on the ship with them as well, so it was fun.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
darling.
You, lady.
See you soon, Steve.
Lovely to see you.
Speak to you soon, girls. Bye.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Oh, that's so uplifting. That's so great. Yeah.
So on Friday, girls, we've got the rather fabulous, and I've always thought he was just gorgeous, Gary Wilmot. I've seen him in so many things, and I mean, just think he's fantastic. So looking forward to that on Friday.
Oh my God, yes.
I'm off to get a washing machine.
Oh yes, and by Friday we'll know which tiers we're in.
We will.
We'll know which tiers we're in, yes. And Debbie, you get your rubber sorted out, love.
Oh, I will. I'll know what tears
Please
I'm in.
do.
Will we be in tears on Friday?
This is a very good question.
Goodbye. Bye.
Okay, enough now. No more rubbers,
back
no
to
more
your day
tears.
job, Debbie.
Cut.
Bye.
Bye.